Back at it again, folks. So this project is basically an extension of the short film 4 that I shot some months back. My friend Terrell, who serves as the writer-director, cares about the story and wanted to expand it and explore the world a little further. This time around, we had a little more help on set, and honestly, I don't think we would have finished shooting day 1 in time if that wasn't the case. Valencia captured all of this VTS footage that you guys are watching right now, placing lights, making sure everyone was welcome and warm at her church, which she and her pastor allowed us to get all the footage we needed for the interiors. Y'all know Juan, he's pretty much a vet at this point, booming audio and doing everything in between, man. He really helps me to get out of my head. You know, in video terms, Marwan is the warp stabilizer of the film crew for sure.
Key, aka Key the director,
keeping the slate for us on every shot, making sure things are consistent, killing BTS, man. She just killed it all around. Even our actors, they all did amazing, man. Even the homie Anthony, you know, keeping things light on set, never without a smile or making somebody laugh. Always down to help with whatever is needed, man. Can't forget about Corey, man. Corey was up high in these balconies, and I forgot my gloves for these Arri lights, and well, they get hot as hell. He was up there touching those lights with his bare hands just to get them in position we needed for each take, you know. So, you know, he eventually found some gloves, but if I had to run up those stairs every time and adjust those lights myself, we would have lost a lot of takes, as well as I would have lost a lot of weight. One thing I've been learning about myself is that I don't really like storyboarding, man. Trust me, I've tried. And to me, visiting locations at the same time you're supposed to shoot ideally, and then making diagrams to where I want my lights and what I want the frame size to look like, for me it's a way better process as an image maker, because you know, things change once you start to light a location. Maybe there's a sign in the frame you can't move or that you didn't see, or a white wall that just gets illuminated and it ruins the frame, you know. I think also I like to have free reign in the moment as well, to be spontaneous. That also leads to shots that feel unmotivated at times though, and I recognize that. To kind of eliminate that feeling a little bit, I just wrote a small note to myself that said the frame should feel like a novice level 16mm photographer shot it. I say novice because the emulation didn't need to be perfect, but just enough to make the audience feel something familiar. The emulation was done with Cineprint16 version 1. It's what I started the project in, so I just went with that instead of version 2, which is slightly better in the halation, and it has custom film borders you can use. I won't talk about it too much because honestly I'm still figuring out the node system, but it is relatively simple if you understand Resolve at a basic level. They're all in these compound nodes and labeled. You can click on things and off to get the look you desire more, add more grain, take away halation, tweak colors. It's a really great shortcut for one-man bands like myself who only own a MacBook M1 for editing. Knowing that I was planning to do an emulation, I wanted to light the church scenes pretty hard and just spot the RA650 and 300 watt where they need it. I got that idea from watching Louis Potts' channel, a really dope cinematographer whose channel I'll link below. Honestly, if you've seen me, I know you've seen his videos, but he made a breakdown on Sean Bobbitt's lighting for Black Messiah, for Judas and the Black Messiah, and for that, Bobbitt hung a spotlight up and let it key the actor, you know. So I decided to try it, and also knowing that 16mm just looks good, you know, it looks good as hell even when the highlights are nearly clipping in the shot. So I just kind of let myself kind of go a little crazy with it, you know. My key definitely isn't as soft as Mr. Bobbitt's, but I like the stylized nature that it gave, you know, because it's an odd image, you know, like the end result is an odd image because it's like tungsten with LED mixture with a prosumer level camera and $100 optics emulated to feel like 16mm. Like, it's a lot going on. It's just interesting to see the contrast between micro budget trying to replicate $1 million budget and actual $1 million budget lighting. You know, I am happy with what we ended up capturing for sure. So camera and lensing though, of course we got the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera rigged up. And the lens I ended up using pretty much the whole shoot was this TTartisian 17mm f1.4. Now, I saw this brand forever. I avoided like the plague because I assumed it'd be shitty, honestly, and didn't see a lot of folks using it. But I was in need of something wider than the 28mm Takumar I have, which is about a 56 on micro 4/3 sensors. So I just needed that extra room to frame things in a more natural, less compressed field of view. This 17mm was the answer for me. Now, I will say it's not the most characteristic, but it's more so the field of view that I'm most in love with. It was the perfect companion to the idea of making things look like a photograph. On top of that, there aren't many wide-angle lenses for micro four thirds with an aperture of 1.4 that cost the same as a nifty 50. Like, you can get super close, you can step back and get just enough in frame. Like, I can see why Deakins loves the 32mm and why his simplistic images resonate so much. I can't wait to do some street videography with this thing. You know, metal build, smooth aperture blades. The lens itself is ugly as hell. It's fine though, because the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K is ugly as hell too. You know, it's already bad enough people still don't know what Blackmagic is, so now I'm going into the whole, they use this brand on the Avengers, blah blah blah, 4K. Yeah. But anyways, this is the nifty 34mm. Shouts out to TTartisian. Get this lens. Give this lens a go if you're in the market for a budget 35mm, for sure. But for the lighting, again, my approach was pretty planned out, where I put the lights beforehand. I just got some pictures from Google Maps and made a pretty shitty diagram placing lights where I wanted them before I got there. The whole film takes place at night, which is nice and horrible at the same time, because yes, you don't have to battle the sun, but now you have to light dark exteriors enough in the background so things don't fall to mush. And I don't know about you, but when it's dark outside and there are no practical lights anywhere, like no street lights either, I mean, hell, even when there is, it's like the darkness is so vast, you know. Like I'm waiting for the days where giant balloon rigs are at a prosumer level. You know, I don't even know how that'd be possible. I don't even know if it's possible, but it'd be nice for sure. Pretty much what I did was have those Arris high up backlighting the church members, while a Godox Sl 60W with a softbox and honeycomb grid keys them from the aisleway from that one side, and I kept it on that one side for the whole shoot just to keep things consistent. I don't necessarily know where that light's motivated from, and I didn't necessarily care. The main thing that I wanted, I knew that the lighting would make sense in the grade. It would make sense, you know, even though the tungsten backlight, I didn't necessarily want another full tungsten soft light. I didn't even have one, so that wasn't even an option. So I just knew in the grade it would look good in the grade, and I was really happy with what I ended up doing in the grade with it. So I didn't worry about the temperature of the light so much as just getting enough key on my actors to give them that punch that I wanted to really sell this 16mm look. I also kept one side purposely dark, one side of the church dark, to keep some contrast in the center of the story on this youth group. These lights are awesome, man. I spotted them and aimed them on the cross in the back for a super dope look. I really enjoyed that control without having to put on extra modifiers and whatnot, or batteries. I've been really wanting to add some variety to my shot selection and just overall style, and I just appreciate Terrell for just really trusting me with the look of the film, you know, but also leaving room for me to play and experiment and try things we haven't before. You know, it's the best type of collaborator and friend to have in general, for real. He's really coming into his own as a creator, man. Like, the dude be singing, dancing, directing, writing. Like, I don't know where he get his energy from, but it ain't from the sun. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if one day he just rips his skin off on some under the skin type stuff and told me he wasn't from Earth. I would not be surprised. Anyway, that's day one. I'm tired of writing this little script I wrote for y'all, so I wouldn't stumble over my native tongue. I have to finish the color grade, and I'm hungry. I hope you all enjoyed this behind the scenes. I mess with y'all for real. I'll see y'all in the next one. Well, I'll see the returning subs. I'll see you other unsubscribed folk in another one of my videos that catch the algorithm in 6 months. Don't feel bad. I don't be subscribing either.